Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of I Can't Believe It's Already Wednesday. I'm your host, or something like that. I'm coming to you live. This is probably, truly like the latest I could really start recording this episode. It usually takes me, I could do this from pressing record to having everything uploaded. I could do it in an hour. It is 10:26 p.m. the night before. This is, I say this in quotes, this is due. Now, if I post this at 12:30 a.m. on the day it's supposed to come out, is anybody going to notice? Absolutely not. Do I set these deadlines for myself? Absolutely. Have I ever missed a deadline? I was thinking about that. I think there was one time in the very, very beginning where I had to record an episode morning of, but it was up by 9:30, 10 a.m. I promise no one noticed, and no one cared, because nobody asked for this, but that's a different story. But yeah, I'm burning the midnight oil for sure, but also I'm officially procrastinating, Which isn't bad. You have to let yourself procrastinate. This is how I see it. I've talked about this before, my whole theory on procrastination, but there are so many essays where I got a decent enough mark that I actually don't think, had I given myself more time, I could have done better, I think the mark I was going to get was the mark I was going to get. I think I was going to get a B, 79%, maybe 82 if I'm lucky. I think that was my fate no matter what. So, I'm glad that I only wasted 4 hours, then wasted, 2 hours over the course of, 2 hours of every day for 7 days. So what is that, 14 hours? Yeah. No. That's 14 hours that I wouldn't be able to get back. But if I only give myself 4 hours to complete it, I have to complete it. Because that's the thing with me. I always get it done. I will where there is a will, there is a way. I believe that with myself for most things, to a fault. I'll be so relaxed over no, you need to get this done now. I'm yeah, no, I'll do it. And the problem is, not to brag, I kind of always get it done. Knock on wood. Up until this point, there's not, obviously I know this contradicts what I was saying before, but maybe it's not the best quality. But I always get it done. I always get what I need to do done. So there's that. I don't know what else to tell you. I hope everyone has had a great week. We are officially in official October. I believe it was technically official October last time you heard from me. But we were sort of settling into it. And I hate to say it, but I haven't done much October-y things in the last week, and I hope that this next week is the difference maker. I want you to hear me next week in such a fall mood, such a fall attitude, but I'm just, for whatever reason, I'm just not there yet, and it makes me sad because, it's almost Halloween, guys. In 3 weeks, it's going to be, Halloween is going to have come and gone. Actually, I think an episode comes out on Halloween. And, I've watched no Halloween movies. The thing with Halloween, I was talking to someone about this. It almost doesn't have a place because it happens, I saw someone, 2 weeks ago with their Halloween decorations up. And I'm not a judgmental person, but the first thing that came into my mind is, wow, that's really early. But if you think about it, that was, very, very end of September. So it's, only a month before Halloween. But, even me, who is pro decorate your house early, was that's a little bit early. But then it almost feels if your house is still decorated on November 2nd, it's okay, what are you still doing here? We've all moved on to Christmas. So Halloween has such a short window, and Halloween is a red velvet cupcake. 30 seconds is the difference between a perfectly cooked cupcake and a dry cupcake. I don't know why I specifically said red velvet, because I think this is probably the case for many cupcakes. I just went through a phase in 2010-ish where I was obsessed with making cupcakes, and I think I only made it once, but I watched so many videos on like how to make a red velvet cupcake, how to make icing for a red velvet cupcake. For some reason, I went through a cupcake phase. And again, I probably actually made cupcakes once or twice, but like I liked the idea of cupcakes. Because that was also around the time, there was this weird, like, from 2010 to 2013, like, every 6 months, there was, like, a new dessert that we all had to try. And every store would start selling it. And I'm sure this still happens now, but, like, sorry, not every store would start selling it. Every store, like, every mall would have a store dedicated to this one thing. And then there would be 14 of these stores and not enough people to go to all of these stores, and then they all shut down. Like, first it was cupcakes. I don't know about first, but in that time period, it was cupcakes. It was all about the cupcake. There were so many cupcake shops now, or then. I don't know that many of them are still open because it's like $7 a cupcake. It's like the original crumble cookies, where it was like, this is not feasible. Like, you're not going to walk into, even if you had a birthday party, like, you're going to get cupcakes from the grocery store before you walk in and get, 12 $5 cupcakes. It's just not going to happen. So it was that, and it was also frozen yogurt shops was also around this time, where every store became or not every store, but every mall got a self-serve frozen yogurt shop. And I don't know where everyone else lives, but where I live, like, they're gone. We have, like, one Menchie's left that's open weird hours and barely. Actually, I'm happy to say I have had some candy corn this week. Since you've heard from me last, I did the shopping trip that I do every fall, which is where I buy all the pumpkin things. I might have talked about this last week. I can't remember. It might have been 2 weeks ago. But I've had candy corn. I'm nearing the end of my first bag of what I believe is called an autumn mix, which is regular candy corn as you know it, which is like the white top. Ooh, what is the color coordination of candy corn? You think I would know this off the top of my head? I want to say the very top is white, then it goes to a yellow, then it's orange, like light to dark. I think that's correct. But one is that. The other is just like marshmallow pumpkins. So like the consistency of a candy corn, if not a little bit thicker, but it's like a pumpkin, which I actually think those are my favorite. And then we have, it's like it doesn't taste like chocolate to me. Now we've gone over how I have weird taste buds, so I don't know if that's just a me problem, but it's like a chocolate, seemingly chocolate. I'm going to Google what's in this autumn mix that I've been eating actually, I don't want to know because I've had too much of it to like turn back now. Okay. It is a distinctive, colorful mix of candy corn, harvest corn, and pumpkin mellow cream corn candy. What is harvest corn? For those that haven't seen it, it's like it looks like chocolate at the bottom and then into like regular candy corn. So like instead of yellow at the bottom, it's like a brown color. And it doesn't get as light at the top. What is harvest corn? Now I know for a fact it's going to start talking to me about like when corn is best harvested. Yeah, here we go. After it matures, corn is harvested in the fall with a grain combine. Combine? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Okay, what is harvest corn candy? Okay. Harvest corn combines classic candy corn flavor with cocoa powder for a rich chocolatey taste that's sensational for baking, snacking, and fall decorating with friends and family. I should do how I freeze dry candy corn mix. Oh, you can do that? I bet that would be good to make it like crispy. Okay, a new idea. I might have to try that. I also would like to try baking cookies with candy corn. I think that would be really good, especially if you did like not a savory cookie, but like it doesn't need to be like a cookie where if you ate it on its own without the candy corn, you'd be like, oh, is this a banana bread? Like more of a neutral cookie, but with some flavor, and then you get the sugar and the sweetness from the candy corn. Because really, at the end of the day, like, I love candy corn, but I feel a little bit... Like, I feel about eating candy corn the same way I would feel about ordering, like, a birthday cake ice cream, or not, sorry, not birthday cake, candy, what is that flossy stuff called? Not candy floss. Oh my God, cotton candy. Like, if I went into an ice cream shop and ordered cotton candy, I'd feel a little bit weird. Or like bubble gum. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, where the flavor profile is just like sugar. But, I mean, once a year, guys. Like, it's once a year. It's when the leaves drop. Also, I have noticed that the leaves are dropping. The fall weather that I've been so desperately asking for has arrived. Now, unfortunately, it arrived at the worst time. I was on a walk because I wanted to, like, I don't know, like, get some, like, I needed to touch grass, essentially. So I went on a walk. I walked down a hill. Now, the problem with walking down a hill is that you have to walk back up the hill. And the second I reached the bottom of the hill, it started pouring rain. And I was trapped. There was nothing I could do. There was nowhere for me to go. I did consider, I opened the Uber app just to see, like, what that would look like. And I couldn't do it. So I had to walk home in the pouring rain. I was wearing proper footwear. I was wearing a proper jacket, which by the grace of God was I doing so, because I did not plan ahead or even think to check the weather app or maybe bring an umbrella. Like, I was just going for it. And I walked up a hill in the pouring rain. And then for some reason, my waterproof jacket forgot that it was waterproof. And I took off my jacket and I had like a hoodie underneath, and it was just like water. Like, I don't know by what I don't know how that happened. Like, how does that happen? Like, with a waterproof jacket. Like, did the waterproofing expire? Because the jacket is a couple years old. But I don't know how jackets and waterproofness works. So, whatever. I'm just going to eat my, harvest corn and keep to myself, as I normally do. But it was confusing. One sec. While I have candy corn Googled, I would love to know, like... Okay, I'm just going to read, and I'm going to be fully honest. I am getting this information from Wikipedia. Now, something funny to note, this is the first time in a while that I haven't clicked on Wikipedia and found them asking for my money. Does that happen to everyone else? Like, is it just me? Do they just know that if they keep asking me, I will eventually say yes? Like, they're always saying, we need money or else we're going to shut down. We really need money. And here's the thing. I think we all use Wikipedia. I just, it feels like a scam. So if they could give a PowerPoint presentation on why they need money, just let me know. And maybe we can figure something out. I don't want to guarantee anything. Because I'm just a little bit hesitant. Because yes, we reap the benefits of Wikipedia, but can't anyone just go on there and edit stuff? Is it, who is the money going to? Yeah, I'm sure it costs to keep a website running. But then are you really employing people, or is it just 15-year-olds in science class changing, things to be incorrect? Or maybe they have fact checkers? I don't know. Again, just let me know. But candy corn, or wikipedia.org/candy corn. That first initial paragraph, again, probably written by a 14-year-old in science class who's bored. Candy corn is a small pyramid-shaped candy, typically divided into 3 sections of different colors with a waxy texture and a flavor based on honey, sugar, butter, and vanilla. Okay, so let's talk about a flavor based on. So it is in no way saying that any of these things are actually in candy corn. It's just the flavor is based on the idea of honey, sugar, butter, and vanilla. Now, love all 4 of these things. I would say if I had to rank them, I would say honey and vanilla are tied because they're both sweet, but like, I guess vanilla is not inherently sweet, but they're both sweet without being just like straight up sugar. Sugar would be second place. And then butter. I guess I don't. Butter, butter's good. Like butter goes on things. I think I'm just a little bit sketched out about butter since I've seen videos of people like just like eating butter. I don't know if anyone else is getting that content, and like if that is your thing, that is great. Like truly, 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 whatever works for you. Decorating your house for September 1st, Halloween, do it. Just gnaw on a stick of butter. If that works for you. I've eaten a full thing of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I cannot judge you. But I just like it has tainted the idea of butter in my mind. Anyway. Candy corn has a reputation for generating polarizing responses, with articles referring to it as Halloween's most contentious, that's a fun word to spell, contentious sweet, which people either love or hate. Well, get in line, candy corn. See, they had candy corn flavored Oreos that I apparently missed out on. Let me see if I can buy like a sale box on Amazon. They also at one point had Swedish fish Oreos, and I never got to try them, and I still think about it all the time. I also don't know what is real. So like, I feel like it's very common for like memes to be of like fake Oreos. Like they have like the Tide Pod Oreos, and I fully believed it. I was like, oh wow, they're solving the problem. Like, do you remember probably closer to 10 years ago when like Tide had to put out a statement like, please don't eat our pods. Like, we know they look delicious. Don't eat them. Which is just I mean, I could do a whole episode and a half on like what happened there. Like, why are we eating Tide Pods? Also, why do they look so good? Like, why do they look like something that you want to eat? So when I saw from like some random meme of Tide Pod Oreos, I was like, okay, ew, because what are those going to taste like? But also, you're kind of solving the problem because the people that would turn to a Tide Pod can now turn to your Oreos. But then I was like, if you're eating a Tide Pod, like if you are of sound mind eating a Tide Pod, like whatever happens next to you is not the fault of Tide or their marketing team. Now, I'm not being sponsored by Tide. Like, I'm not trying to clear their name. Like, I'm sure we could get them for something else. But like, if you are eating a Tide Pod, that's a decision you're making, you know? Like, unless you genuinely didn't know. I feel like I've almost like ingested things. Like, let's say like I'll have a water bottle open and then I'll be like painting and then I'll almost like go to drink the paint. I've almost done that. Not that specific scenario. I can't exactly remember what I messed up, but I mixed up something, but I caught myself, which is all that matters. But long story short, candy cane Oreos, and I would like to try them. Actually, we're just going to take a total left, and I'm just going to Google weirdest Oreo flavors. Because why not? Now again, some of these might be fake. I don't know. I have no trust. Okay. 24 specialty Oreo flavors you can buy on Amazon right now. Well, I don't know that I need to buy them on Amazon. I just need to know that they existed. Also, low-key, the thing with Oreos is they will have the exact same flavor, the exact same recipe, and brand it 8 different times. And yes, I'm talking about cinnamon bun. They've done cinnamon bun. They've done churro. They've done like mini donut. They've done something else. And I'm like, this is the exact same flavor. It's not a bad flavor. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I need to fix it. I'm not saying but it is what it is. Like, what are we doing here? It's the same flavor. Okay, this website is Eat This, Not That, which is my version of what not to wear. And it is called 18 Most Unique Oreo Flavors Ever Released, if you want to play it along at home. And I'll let you know if I've had these and then any thoughts. Okay, I think we're going from the most weird to the least weird, so I'm going to scroll down and try not to look. So the least weird of the most weird, this is number 18, is cotton candy, which is apparently becoming a theme. I don't actually think that cotton candy is that weird of a flavor. My problem is, again, the flavor profile of cotton candy is sugar. Wherein, to contrast, that wasn't English, the flavor profile of the cream of an Oreo is just sugar. So, what did we invent? We have sugar and we have sugar. Confusing. But for anyone wondering, it is a golden Oreo, which I actually like a golden Oreo. I can't say that I like it better. I actually like doing, like, you take the cookie from one, like you take a cookie off of a golden, a cookie off of a chocolate, and then swap them, and then you have two half and half, and that's good. But also like they kind of just taste the same. I don't know. Yeah, cotton candy. I'm not gonna read the whole write-up. The writer of this article. Let me find their name. Brianna Ruback, who I respect. Like this is a version of journalism that I think is very important. I'm not going to read the write-up for everything because that's just going to be too much. But like, if the reason Brianna found these weird was because it's sugar flavored when it's normally sugar flavored, then I'm with you. Okay, 17. This one I did try. This is Most Oreo, which was, I believe, last year came out. It is I think I bought it under the name like the most stuffed. It's essentially like this is the most stuffed. Wait 1 sec. Oreo kicked off 2023. Brianna got me by rolling out its most Oreo flavor yet. The new cookie featured most stuffed levels of cream filled with crushed Oreo bits. So it is essentially an Oreo stuffed inside an Oreos. Staying true to its meta theme, Oreo also provides a QR code on the product's packaging to unlock the Oreoverse. Okay, so this isn't what I was talking about. They came out, so for some backstory, I want to say like 2 years ago, Oreo did like the most stuffed Oreo, where it was like a double stuffed Oreo, still in between two cookies. And I guess this one that we're talking about, the most Oreo, is one of those Oreos, but inside that thick layer of cream is Oreo pieces. So it's like an Oreo flavored cookies and cream Oreo. If I have to explain why that's weird, then we're doing too much. Okay. Apple cider donut. Okay, so I actually tried so I've actually tried this year the pumpkin spice Oreos, which I think has taken over as the fall flavor the last couple years, but I guess there was an apple cider donut. Now, I recently just had what I believe was my first apple cider donut, and it was pretty good. It tasted like a donut that was apple flavored. I don't know if I specifically tasted cider, but I liked it, and I would definitely like to try these apple cider donuts. I don't know. It looks as though the cookie is it's like a different flavor. I wish I had the write-up of like what it is, because it's not always just like a plain cookie. Like sometimes there's some like sprinkles in there or whatnot. But this looks good. I wish I tried it. Okay. This one I'm happy to talk about. And I completely forgot about it. And I'm actually kind of mad because now I want it to come back. We used to do a segment on the show called Snack Graveyard. This, and I think at the time that we did it, like, this hadn't even come out yet. Or this was still available, but now it's officially able to enter the Snack Graveyard. Salted caramel brownie. It's a Oreo filled with, sometimes they do this, they'll do like 2 layers of cream, like 2 thinner layers of cream. One was brownie flavored and one was caramel flavored, and then baked inside the cookie was flaked salt. It was like pieces of salt. It was the best Oreo, and I'm actually mad that they don't have it anymore. Again, I don't know that this is weird. I think me and Brianna just have different definitions of the term weird, because I think it's genius, but like I guess geniuses are weird. Who knows? But yeah, if you can, honestly, I'm going to look for a stale box, salted caramel brownie. Brookio. Okay, I remember this one, but I guess it's just like a brownie. Yeah, so I think I tried it. But this one, they did a triple layer of cream. 1 layer brownie, 1 layer of just original, and then 1 layer cookie dough. I don't know why they needed the original. Was that for the cookie representation? A Brookio, so I guess it's an Oreo brookie. Sure. Brownie cookie. Okay, next. Fruity Crisp. So I guess this would be like, we mean Fruity Pebbles. You know when they have to do those, like, they change the name, but like we know it probably all came from the same factory. Fruity Crisp. So Fruity Pebble Oreo. This looks to be a golden Oreo with Fruity Pebbles in the cream. I would try that. Again, not weird. Like, if anything, it's obvious. Number 12, Blueberry Pie. This one, I'd imagine the cookie, it looks like a golden Oreo, but it also, I would imagine, has like some sort of like cinnamony flavor. Like it's more like a pie crust flavor. And it was apparently, according to Brianna, was only available at Target in 2016. And then later made its way to a couple other grocery stores, but like was never widely released. So I did not try it. Okay, next, key lime pie. And this is saying it's a graham cracker flavored cookie with key lime flavored cream. I would try this. I didn't. And it came out in July 2015 and then made a brief return in 2017. But times are ticking. Okay, this one I like. Hot and spicy cinnamon. So this one was from 2018. And it looks like a cinnamon heart Oreo. So it's cookie or chocolate cookies, cinnamon flavored cream. I would love this. See, this is starting to make me mad because it's like I might never try any of these. This is great fodder for the snack graveyard, though. Okay, number 9, I just talked about this, Swedish fish Oreos, which always has confused me because I think about these probably 3 times a week, if not twice a month. I don't know if the cream was flavored as a Swedish fish, which I guess would be like, and I love Swedish fish, but the flavor of a Swedish fish is like sugary with like a little bit of like rubber. So I don't know, but like the taste of rubber, not even necessarily the texture, even though they are kind of rubbery. So I don't know if the cream was like the texture of Oreo cream that tasted like that rubberiness, or if it was like a Swedish fish was put in the middle of 2 cookies. But according to Brianna, there were multiple reviewers that compared it to cough syrup, which honestly does not turn me off. It doesn't immediately turn me off. Okay, number 8, root beer float. I did not try this. Apparently people liked it. It looks like a golden Oreo, but again, there could be some flavor in there. And they're filled with both vanilla and root beer flavored cream. Now, why the vanilla cream has been trying to get involved in some of these Oreos, I don't know. Like, if we're going root beer float, let's go root beer float, but whatever works for you. Okay, this looks fun. Kettle corn Oreo with puffed pieces. Kettle corn flavored cream with puffed pieces. Again, it's a golden. A lot of the flavored ones, they go golden. They go golden Oreo, but again, it could be golden with like a cinnamony flavor, like maybe they wanted a kettle corn flavor. I don't know. Okay, next, pina colada Oreo thins. Now, why they decided that this flavor had to be a thin, I have no idea. But I'm so glad that it brought up the concept of thins because they're arguably my favorite. Like an Oreo thin, and it's not even about it being thin because well, no, it is about it being thin, but it's not about like the nutritional value, because like I'll just eat like the half of, like where I would sometimes eat just like one row of Oreos. I just want an Oreo now. Where I would sometimes eat one row of Oreos, like I'll just eat like half the package of Oreo Thins. So it's like I'm getting the same amount. So if we just take that out of the equation, ratio-wise, it's perfect. Wherein the Reese's Peanut Butter Minis, they don't always get it right. Not the mini, like the mini cups, but like the Reese's Thins, the ratio is off. And then the big cups of Reese's, that's the correct ratio as well. But like there's nothing like that original formula of the regular one. But something about that ratio of the Oreo Thins, like it works. It really does work. Okay, next. Number 5, Cherry Cola. Cherry Cola, I'm assuming vanilla got involved here as well, but it actually is a chocolate cookie. It's from 2018. It's a layer of cherry cola flavored cream with popping candy. Okay, so they did this recently. I just tried a Coke flavored Oreo, and then they also have Oreo flavored Coke. Now, the Oreo flavored Coke was decent. It tastes like you like very quickly, you got a thing of Coke, you dipped an Oreo in it, and then you left it out, but then some of the crumbs came at the bottom, so you kind of got like Coke flavor and then like a little bit of that like chocolatey aftertaste, which I'm describing it as gross, but like it was nothing offensive. But then I finally got my hands on the Coke flavored Oreos, and I don't know that I would have been able to tell you that it was Coke flavored if you just gave it to me, but like knowing what I knew, it tasted pretty good. And why I'm bringing this up is that it also had popping candy, and I didn't realize that they had done a Coke flavored, like not brand name Coke, but like a cola flavored Oreo before. So I'm almost less impressed, because according to Brianna, this one came out in 2018. So they've had, what is that, 6 years? That's crazy that that's 6 years, but they've had 6 years to like fix the flavor, essentially. And I guess she thought that was so weird. Okay, number 4, firework Oreo. Now, I don't know what a firework tastes like, and that's a little concerning. So that would qualify as weird. But I believe I did try these. They're from 2017, and they're just a regular Oreo, it seems, with popping candy, which seems about right for 2017. I feel like that's when we were like we had accepted popping candy enough for it to be in something mainstream like an Oreo, but it was still early enough that it was like kind of cool, whereas now it's like popping candy is very run-of-the-mill. Okay, number 3, waffles and syrup Oreo. This is from, okay, wait, let's just, cookies for breakfast, Brianna says. How about breakfast flavored cookies? These Oreos were only sold at Albertsons stores in 2017, though the cookie giant welcomed maple back into the flavor lineup in 2019 and again in 2020 with the rollout of its limited edition maple cream Oreos. Now, here's the thing. As I was saying before, they love to recycle. Oreo, you can get them for a lot of things, but they are definitely carbon neutral because they love to recycle. They use the same flavor and just call it something else, put a new sticker on it, and then you're out. So I'm assuming these are the same as the maple cream Oreos, which came out, at least in Canada, this year. I don't know if they came out or if they had been out before. But they were originally marketed as limited edition, and I couldn't find them for a couple months, and now that's all I see. So I don't know if they made too many. I don't know if people love them so much that they've kept them permanent. I don't know if people hated them so much that they can't get them off the shelves or what's going on. But I was about to be sad that I had never tried waffles and syrup Oreos, but apparently I have because I've had the maple ones, and they're decent. Alrighty, next one. Wasabi. These are from 2018, and they are, it is what they sound like. They're wasabi flavored Oreos. I don't know that I've ever had a savory Oreo, unless I'm forgetting something. I would try it. And again, it's like a Swedish fish thing. Like, did they just put wasabi in between 2 Oreos? Like 2 cookies? And this one they went chocolate, it seems, chocolate cookie. Or is it like just like the wasabi flavor? And like, is it spicy? I don't know. And then number 1, according to Brianna, weirdest flavor, hot chicken wing. And again, chocolate Oreo with hot chicken wing flavored cream. I would try it. Listen, don't knock it till you try it. According to the reviewer that Brianna quoted, quote, "It did not work at all with the chocolate cookies," which I could see. They maybe could have gone like golden Oreo for that. They could workshop it a bit, but honestly, I loved it. They've had some funky Oreos, because I feel like I've heard of other ones that weren't even on that list. So maybe this will become a recurring segment. I would love to get my hands on some of these, if possible, and do like an Oreo cookie tasting. I mean, every week would be lovely, but probably closer to once a month, and realistically closer to once a year, because anytime I say I want to do something, I don't necessarily do it. Unless you give me a harsh deadline, then I'll do it the hour before. So we're going to work on that. I did not mean for this to become an Oreo expose, but it did, and I don't regret it. So if you like what you heard, there's a lot more where this came from. If you go to podcastnobodyaskforthis.podbean.com, on there you can find links to our Spotify, our Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Samsung, all that jazz. I really thank you for listening. You can also just listen on YouTube. There's not a video because I couldn't possibly put that up in an hour, and no one needs to see what's happening here. But you can hear it, and there's lots of it recorded at this point, over 100 and something episodes. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm again talking to not many people because nobody asked for this. But regardless, I hope everyone has a great week. I will see you as fall continues. I hope you watch some Halloween movies this weekend, or honestly, just this week. Like, we only have so many days left. Like, just watch it. Watch a movie on a Wednesday. Who cares? If you're listening to this, you clearly like don't have the highest standards for content. So just put on like a movie from just a streaming service. Turn on the TV. There's got to be like on the Lifetime channel or something. There's got to be like a not so great Christmas movie, or not Christmas movie, not so great Halloween movie. Do they do those like Christmas movies but Halloween version? Fall version? I'm gonna look into that. But yeah. Enjoy the season. 'Tis the season. Okay. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.